from Niles East High School, a junior. Marianne's working very smoothly through her dance and her gymnastic skills. Whoa, aerial walkover. She almost fell, but she regained her composure.
Crowd very, very quiet for this event. They realize that beam is not very wide. Concentration is so important. Marianne Kostanek, a junior from Niles East High School.
Jim, the crowd is very appreciative of all performances, and sometimes during a performance they might applaud one or two skills, and the skill that they applauded of Marianne's was a tuck back somersault, not a very easy skill to do on the balance beam. And as you said, many of the gymnasts that have competed throughout the season are here in the audience if they didn't qualify for the finals. And on the replay, we're going to see right there Marianne's flip-flop, which is another difficult skill. She had a little bit of problem there with that, but for her caliber, that is really not a difficult skill for her to do. She is very composed. She's had a lot of experience in competition. She moves throughout her dance, stretches, and that was the point I was making earlier. Her amplitude is excellent, and there's that aerial walkover that she almost faltered on, but again regained her positioning. Our next competitor is Tony Otto of Morton East. By the way, Sue was voted the Outstanding Senior Gymnast of the Year by the Illinois High School Coaches Association.
It's quite a beginning.
That's one of the more spectacular mounts that you'll see. Very difficult to do. Tony Otto of Morton East High School. Sue overall performed a fairly clean routine. I know she's not very happy with her aerial walkover, but she had quite a few difficult superiors in her routine, which will minimize the effect of that fall.
Including this one.
Yes, the first one is her mount, which is a punch front on the end of the beam. And that beam is 47 and a quarter inches off the floor. So you can see how difficult that is just using the Ruther board to mount the beam. She went on and had very few flaws. She's a top flight performer. Incorporates several superior skills in her routine. I'm sure she's a little disappointed, but I feel she should be very proud of what she's accomplished here this evening.
She appears to be much more dramatic in the routine than many of them. There appear to be more dance movements.
She's a very tall and striking young lady and can use extremes in dance to her advantage. There was a front summy and then her aerial walkover, and had a slight body turn in the air. You can see the disappointment on her face.
Marianne Kostanek still leads 9.0. Nina Jim from Forest View, a sophomore, the winner of the all-around competition held yesterday, the first day of competition.
Nina's a strong competitor. Very nice routine.
Nina Jim from Forest View, and they really like that one.
Our all-around champion. Her preliminary score of 8.40, I'm sure, will fall by the wayside. Her mount is a handstand pirouette on the end. And she starts off very solid right in the beginning. Whoop, there's a little mistake, but the rest of her routine at the beginning is very solid and hardly a flaw through the rest of the routine. This is an aerial walkover. Performed very solidly. And there's Nina waiting for her score.
This is trauma time, isn't it?
I don't think the judges will have much problem with that score. Here's more part of Nina's routine. Standing back somersault, very difficult. But the beam they're competing on, Jim, is a padded beam. And it's not quite as hard as a wood beam. It has a little bit of padding underneath the upper surface and makes landings and fall a little less hazardous and a little softer. And her dismount is a full twisting cartwheel.
They just put the score up, 9.5. Yep. That puts Nina Jim into the lead in the balance beam.
In third place, with a score of 8.8, from Morton East, Sue Tony Otto. In second place, with a score of 9.0, from Niles East High School, Marianne Kostanek. And the 1980 state champion on balance beam with a score of 9.5, the highest score ever recorded in the finals in Illinois gymnastic history on the balance beam. From Forest View High School, Nina Jim. Here are the top 5 girls in the balance beam.
The floor exercises are coming up right after this pause. One of your network hosts is Country Companies Insurance.
Get the insurance man.
Wait her before tonight, Nina's gym from Forest View.
The first day of competition, this young lady won the all-around, and she has performed very well here in the second day as well. Nina Gem, a sophomore from Forest View, who already has won the all-around. And earlier in the competition on this day, she won the balance beam and second in the uneven parallel bars. So she has had quite a state tournament.
Nina's music is quite different from most other competitors. It's constantly pushing you on, getting you involved in the routine. And she, as well, packs her routine with a lot of different things. It's constantly moving right along with the music. I mean, there's never a second to rest in this routine. And many judges like routines that keep them at the edge of their seat, that move along, that have lots of things in them to watch. And Nina hardly ever stands still throughout this entire routine. She's got to be one tired lady at the end of this routine. Our next competitor is Sue Tony Otto from Morton East High School. This is Sue's final performance for Morton East.
Dawn Helston from Addison Trail score has just been announced, 9.15. Still waiting for the score for Nina Gem.
Sue Tony Otto. Sue had a lovely routine. I think she's a little pleased.
The score for Nina Jim, 9.55.
Nina Jim's score has just been announced. It was 9.55. She is the new leader.
On Sue's routine here, you can see that her long body lines add so much to her routine, to the gracefulness and elegance that she performs with. Many times it's to the advantage of a competitor to be a little taller, to show off strong, neat body lines. Although I'm not saying that the shorter competitor is at a disadvantage, but a tall competitor really has some advantages in the dance category. So he has nice high tumbling. Here's a handspring front combination of superior quality. Moving out without any faults into a dance movement, aerial cartwheel, and then onto the ground. Preparing for another tumbling pass that includes a full twist. And finishing off with a very strong routine. Elaine Robinson is the next competitor from Addison Trail.
Elaine's a junior. Her preliminary score was 9.10. We've had some real good scores. The last three young girls to perform, Lisa Wax, Dawn Helston, and Nina Jim, have turned in scores 9.1, 9.15, and 9.55. We're still awaiting the score from Sue Tony Otto.
Very pretty ending for Elaine. Elaine's routine, in contrast to other routines, is of more dramatic nature, a little softer in the music, but nonetheless just as good in quality. And it's nice to see a change of pace from a real fast routine to one that is a little more subtle. Elaine tumbles extremely high.
Sue Tony Otto's score was 9.3, so the leader is still Nina Jim with a 9.55.
In third place with 9.2, also from Addison Trail, Elaine Robinson. In second place with a score of 9.3 from Morton East High School, Sue Tony Otto. And in first place, the 1980 Girls State Florex champion with a state meet record of 9.55 from Forest View High School, Nina Jim. These are the top 5 girls in the state of Illinois on floor.
Frank Bassoni and Bob Steele are standing by in Downers Grove for the 100-yard backstroke awards. And we'll join them in just a moment. One of your network hosts is DeKalb Ag.
In second place with a team score of 113.29er, head coach Betty Ackelson, Manies. We could have the captains come forward, please, to receive the second place trophy. Your 1980 state gymnastics champion with a total score of 115.46, head coach Fred Dennis, Addison Trail. At this time, we'd like to ask Mr. Fred Dennis to call the name of each of his girls and place a medal, first place medal, over their head. Coach?
Okay, Elaine Robinson. Okay, Nadine Palmer. Jackie Ortman. Don Helston. Kathy Kazel. Karen Glad. Give her a second one. Okay, and Sue Buttigiarelli, the coach. Debbie Jareski, coach.
Now, if we could have the two captains come forward to receive the 1980 first place championship trophy. Addison Trail, your 1980 champions.
With me are the Addison Trail state champions for the 1980 IHSA Gymnastics Championships, and I'd like to introduce each girl right now with their year in school and their favorite event.
Hi, my name's Elaine Robinson. I'm 16 years old and I like floor exercise the best.
My name's Jackie Ortman. I'm a freshman and I like uneven bars the best.
My name is Karen Glad. I'm a junior and my favorite event is bars.
Don Helston Jr. and my favorite event's floor.
Kathy Kazel Jr. My favorite event is bars.
Nadine Palmer Jr. and I like being best.
And with me is Coach Fred Dennis. Coach, did you expect to win today?
Well, we certainly worked toward that end and hoped toward it.
Yesterday, I thought that bars and vaulting got off to a little bit of a shaky start, but then I noticed that beam and floor, you started to come along again. Did you do anything tonight to get the kids worked up so that they would perform well in all events?
Well, the pressure was kind of off us as a team and on them as individuals, and so we just talked about that a little bit.
Did your team have any goals for this season?
Well, the ultimate goal for a powerful team is to win a state championship, and that certainly was our number one goal.
Do you have any goals for next season?
Well, they're all coming back, and so we hope to score better than we did this year, and that every girl will do as best as she can.
Did injuries play any factor in the season for you?
Well, they did. Karen Glad had a fractured toe, and she competed with that here tonight. And then any hardworking team has a lot of aches and pains, shin splints, sore wrists and things like that. So, heel bruises. So, yeah, we had some things like that.
But the team depth, I think, that is what shows your team out more than any other team, because if you do have injuries, you have someone to replace those particular individuals.
Oh, that's true. Our fourth score in many cases was only 3 or 4 tenths lower than our first score, and that was our saving grace tonight.
Well, congratulations again, everybody. I'm sure you're very happy and you'd like to meet some other people.
Okay, nice to talk to you.
And now let's pause for this message.